It seems silly not to do it, so I'm just going to give a quick update of what's going on in the garden. Since potting on these strawberry plants, they have been working miracles. As you can see, they're starting to grow strawberries. That's the one pink one that we have. And look at these. This is one that I had previous from last year, and you can see it's starting to sprout up already. And lots of little flowers in there as well. So the strawberries are already well into action. These are Amy's tomatoes that you would have seen maybe last episode, but you can see they've got a lot bigger. Now, I don't mean to brag or anything, but look how marvellous these potatoes look. There is currently, how many pots? 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 pots in here. We've put them in the centre of the garden, but look at that. The growth on them is wild. Not too relevant, but here's the lavender. That's greening up now. The olive tree. I'm not too sure what to do with that. I think you might need to get some proper feed for that. I'm not sure. I will have a look at that. Now, you would have seen me cut this back. This had been a couple of weeks growth, so you can see it was worthwhile cutting down again because all the old wood is in there. But this is what it looks like currently after a couple of weeks. In here we've got the mini beetroots. Now they are starting to show signs of growth, which is good because I've been waiting a while. These are the lettuces that I potted on not too long ago, and also the mini carrots. Again, they've probably doubled in size since you last seen them. In here are the mixed blend leaves, which I planted next to these ones. They're starting to do something finally, which is good because I put new seeds in there. And in here as well, the cress. Now, forget the label, the date is wrong, but it's just so I know that there's cress in that side, but that's doing well. Now, one thing that hasn't done very well is the boogie peas. These boogie peas are, I think, out of date and they do not work, because in comparison, the Mr. Big ones that I picked up not too long ago are starting to sprout. So you can see that's something that we might need to get rid of. These are the extra carrots for a smaller pot. The lettuce just behind, starting to grow massive in those bigger pots, like I said. And then you've got these two over here, 2 lettuce, fantastic. One that didn't survive so well. I'm gonna have to take this one out, aren't I? We'll get rid of that, and we'll get rid of the boogie peas. Get rid of those. And up here, Amy planted on her. What's this? Is this a chili pepper, I think? And a sweet pepper over there. These are ones that she grew from seed. These have been in the house, so you haven't seen these at all, but they're doing really well. They're almost as good as the ones from the garden centre. And in here, I think that was a garlic. Again, that's not my problem. It's not me to deal with those. And then over at the back, we've got, what have we got? Oh yes. This is my cherry tomato plant. It's taller than my normal tomato plants. These are the Shirleys. Again, probably twice the height as what they were last time you seen them. So, lots of good stuff. This pot of potatoes was in the nursing home. I say nursing home. I put it in the bottom of here. That's where it was. These are the extra potatoes in here. Let's see if we can... Oh, there is some greenery in there. That's good. And then, can't really see it, hang on. A few little green sprigs in there as well. So those potatoes should be coming up soon. And I think that is as far as I need to go with the update. So what we're going to do in today's episode is put a few things on. In preparation, I've already written out the labels. So we're going to look at doing some candy striped beetroot. We're going to do some more lettuce. We're going to do some carrots, and also, because the other peas have died, I'm going to do the other boogie peas. Actually, there's quite a lot to do, so it's probably wise to get started. Now, I've always been keen to recycle, so we've got this old tray here. I don't remember what came in it, but what we're going to do in this one is we're going to do some of these, which are the candy striped beetroot. What I'm going to do is I'm going to plant a few in each section and then separate them out later on when they start growing, or hopefully growing. It says on the back of the packet, a beautiful deep pink skinned, stripy pink and white fresh beetroot with a sweet flavour. That sounds amazing, doesn't it? And it also says that it is now time to start sowing these seeds. So just shake the packet, give a very neat tear at the edge, and I assume these are going to look similar to what we've already done with the previous beetroot. Just pop that there for a second. But look at them. They look pretty cool. What I'm going to do is I'm going to pop one in there, one in there, and I'm going to do, maybe I should do 3 in one. And there we go. And I'm just going to cover those up, just like that. So I should put one in there, take one of these and put it in there, another one, and pop it in there, and then cover them up, and then just repeat that process until they're all covered. Run out of seeds. That's actually not that many. I'll see if I can separate these out. So that's the whole packet now gone. I'll do 1, 2, and 3 in there. Now I'm going to put one extra in there, put another extra back there, and back there, one back there, and one over there, and then 2 extra in there. Okay, now I'm just going to take a handful of extra compost just to sprinkle over the top like that. Take out any twiggy bits that aren't needed, and just cover up the seeds. Beautiful. Now I've already written out a little label, and I've already dated it. This is today's date, so you know how far editing wise I am. So that's pretty much done. I'll put that one aside. Just going to put that in the watering pile like that. And now we move on to something else. And that something else is going to be reused out of these little pots. So the strawberries actually came in these little pots, but it comes with a neat little tray as well. So what I'm going to do is just going to put the tray to one side, and I'm going to fill up all of these little pots here. And what I'm going to put in here are some peas. And just like that, you can see all of these are now filled up. I'm going to grab some of these peas, which are the Mr. Big peas that we planted last time, the ones that are shooting up now in the greenhouse. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to tip out a few of these seeds. Now, like I said last time, these just look like normal peas, don't they? They look like dried peas. I'm just going to plonk one in there. I'm going to put one in there, one in there. And then what we're going to do, we're going to cover these little peas up with a little bit of compost. So just a little smidge in each pot, like that. You're only just covering it. Don't need too much to cover it. Just like that. Give it a little shake, just to make sure it's all in there. Just going to take out some of those lumpy bits, just like that. Break it up a little bit. And that's the peas now done. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to transfer these now into the fun little tray that says strawberries. It's because the handle is neatly attached to it. So I'm just going to pop these pots inside like that. Nice and simple. And this will be easy when it comes to transferring them. Just going to pop them in the watering section. Hang on. I need my little label to put inside so we know that they are Mr. Big Peas and not strawberries. Pop them in the watering pile. And now I'm going to do this little tray just here. Now this one I thought might be good for some lettuce. Just using some of these seeds in here. I have used them already. I'm just going to fill this up with compost. Just like that. And then we're going to take some of the seeds. They look very different to all of the other seeds we've used so far. And I'm just going to try and sprinkle them evenly. Because obviously not all of these are going to work. So I'm going to just bite the bullet really and use more seeds than necessary. Like that. Might as well use all of them while we're here. And then I'm just going to lightly put a little bit more compost on top, just like that. Same again, I've written out a little label, all year round lettuce, so we know what's in there. Nice and simple. Just going to pop them down like that, and I'll just grab the watering can and then give them all a little sprinkle. So this is just going to activate all of the seeds and wake them up so they know what they're doing. Right, so that's those now done. I'm going to put these lettuce seeds away because we're not going to need these now. What I'm going to do is I'm going to wait for those to basically germinate and to grow, and then we're going to look at how well and how many we have before I do another batch of seeds. I'm going to do the same with the peas because, as you've seen already, there's not actually that many in the greenhouse. I think we've only got 2 or 3 that have sprouted up so far, so doing 6 more in those pots makes it easier to transfer into bigger pots when it's ready to go, and then I can add the canes to those once they've grown up a little bit more, and then we'll get some more on the go because, well, we don't know the success rate and how well it's going to be. Normally, you'd expect probably about a 50% success rate, I think. So yeah, we're going to do some more peas soon. But what we're going to do right now, because it's time to do these, is the carrots. Now, these are ready to go outside already. It's the darker green line on the back, and it says that April is the time for that to happen, which we know now is right now at this time of recording. So, yeah, we're going to do these now. What I have now done here is I've filled up all of this with compost. Now I'm just breaking up the top, taking out any of the little twigs that aren't needed, and I'm going to basically just make sure it's smooth underneath so the seeds have somewhere to root down. That's the really important bit with the carrots. So just take out some of these little twiggy bits that aren't needed, and then it's pretty much soil preparation complete. Now I'm going to get these carrots out of the packet. This is a brand new packet that I got in the sale in the winter. Now these were probably about £1 or £1.20, no more than that. Shake the packet, get all the seeds down to the bottom, rip it open, and then we can see inside these are ever so similar to what we've already just done with the lettuce and the beetroot. It's like a mix between the two of them, isn't it? Right, and then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to evenly sprinkle a small portion like that. You don't need too many seeds in one place because obviously later on down the line you've got to think about when it comes to pinching them, because you're going to remove a lot of the seeds or seed heads so they don't grow into each other later on. It probably wasn't wise that I've gone too close to the edge, but we can use this as an experiment because I'm going to do another pot of these as well very soon, and then you can see why it's important to not plant near the edge. Now I'm just going to cover these up by adding just a handful of compost on top. Just break it through your hands like that, just sieving out any of the bigger lumps. That is the carrots now done. So what I'm going to do with these is I'm just going to pop a little stick in there. Now all there's left to do is do a really good watering session with all of the things in the garden. Now one thing I still haven't done is the shallots, and I know I haven't done them, but I think this has been quite a busy ep. So what I'm going to say is, thanks very much for watching. If you got anything from this, make sure you like and subscribe, and make sure you check back in the next episode where we'll do the shallots. So, thanks for watching. Speak soon.